Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the 7th episode of our European map making. It is actually the final episode, so that I'm happy to announce you will have seen the first cinematics with our final LUT. At least for the first 3 episodes will be our final LUT, because then you can just decide if you want it like this or if I should change it to another one. I will just leave it to you under this video. It will be just like the cinematics you have seen right now, and yes, this means to me that I would appreciate if you would give me some feedback. So just yes, I think this one's good, or maybe change to something warmer or something more cold or more blue, or just something like this. It helps me a lot, and I will definitely read your comments and answer as good as possible, and also trying to adjust then the LUT after you things that you want to see there. So what we are doing right now is just we are building the valley and the mountains. These mountains aren't that high, they are just for some small 3 valleys, and yes, these 3 valleys are actually pretty small, I would say, but they will just have some roads and houses in them, so they won't be this extremely crowded space. And just the whole map, I don't want to have so many crowded things. This should be in small series, and it should concentrate more on the map making part. And I think this worked out quite well. So there you can see me placing just a small top layer just to get it more interesting to look at from the distance. And now we are going into the detailing of the valleys. Actually, we are at first not detailing them, we are starting to lay out the streets on minute 5, so that's in about 1 minute. Not then I would say we're just enjoying me building these awesome cliffs. I love them. I love this technique to build cliffs because it helps us quite a lot and makes it pretty quick to do something like this, because without this technique it would just look very, I wouldn't say boring, but I think it's boring, so kind of boring. It is just for me to get some irregularities in the mountainside, and just to get more detail in with it. So also these cliffs we have done all the way over the map, so they are everywhere to find in this map. And also if you're coming from my Steam link that I will create in some days for the map, so that you can also play it. Thank you for just clicking on this link. It helps me quite a lot, and I would be very happy if you would try my map and give me some feedback on my Steam account when I will link it in, just like as already said, some days. So this whole valley is now getting some streets laid out through it, and this the layout of the roads, I'm very happy with it, because it isn't just this, I wouldn't say, actually I would say, but no, I will say it later on. It is something really important, and I've made some mistakes there, just it was so much traffic, I had to do something off screen, and this was making a secret tunnel on both sides of the map that is hidden with moved objects. I will also maybe post a picture of this in this episode there, but I don't think so, because it's just something very sneaky that I did. Also with some other things, just the roads were too orange, so I changed this one later on and stuff like this. So we're very close to minute 6, where we are just adding our train tracks. And adding the train tracks is very important in an valley like this and map like this, because it is just here also in Austria, it is very well needed to have a train, because we are having quite a lot of mountain sides where we can't build roads. So there are a lot of train tracks going through the mountains and above the mountains and near the mountains, so it is very fancy sometimes. I will also maybe post in another video a picture of me driving with the Semmeringbahn, if I'm remembering it, if I'm ever going to ride it. I hope so, because then I could use a picture of it for you. So yes. As you can recognize on my voice right now, I'm feeling kinda good right now, but I'm doing some small mistakes. because I'm just like doing the voice recordings on the evening, because I'm rendering all of the day and I'm cutting out stuff and I'm finishing off the recordings like on the morning, and then I'm doing something for school, and then it's suddenly evening or 18 o'clock, or just like today. I think it's actually right now 18 o'clock. I thought it was 20 o'clock. Okay, so I don't want to talk too much about it, but yes, that's maybe sometimes because that's the reason for weird like talking sometimes. So this bridge, I'm very happy with it. I had to change it later on in the like off camera due to the fact that the ships would crash into it. And this was on several sides of this map, so I had to do that quite a lot of changing, but it turned out quite well, and I will also think that I will do this more and more constantly, because this like mod is awesome, where you can see like there is menu with the pillars for the bridges. They are just awesome. I love them because they're just giving me the freedom of using every single pillar that I've got and I don't know about. So having so many pillars, that's actually pretty good. So we will also see more different pillars due to this fact. And I will try to record the first like real episode of this map on Sunday or Saturday. I think it will be Sunday because tomorrow's Saturday and I don't know right now if I'm able to do this from my time. So we are coming very close to the point where we're going to line all the heights of the valley. Until then, you just like will see me getting this like train tracks going through our swampy area and switching sides of the river again, and just like finishing off onto the other side of the map. So we are having a close like circle of tracks, you could say. So everything there is aligned with the terrain. It is pretty well aligned actually, and I think it's kind of realistic because also we're in Austria, we're having a lot of trains built on not national terraces but like also modified ones. So you will also see this right here. I will start on, I think I'm going to start something about, not there, it is about the minute 26. If you want to skip to the part, it will be there detailing this like part of the track with my train terrace and stuff like this. This was actually what I'm watching there, if I could make stuff like a train terrace there, if it would be possible for me with some real life pictures of Google from the Koblenz Bahn in Germany, I think, and also that's it, and also just like some other train tracks in Austria and Germany. So it actually, the Semmering Bahn was the one that I had the most like ideas from, although this is going very well and the Semmering Bahn is going up a mountain, but I think it's quite realistic and I like it. So yes, we are right now at minute 10:30. I'm just saying this for myself because I can say in about 1 minute I will start with an hairpin road. What is a hairpin road? You may be asking, and it is just like a road that is going on a mountain, and while it is going on a mountain, it will have several very hard curves, I think up to 180, also 180-degree curves actually, and they're pretty common in Austria and Germany, as we said, so just like Central Europe, and they are quite easy to do in my opinion. You just like having to add them so that it isn't looking that weird like I did at the beginning there, but it turned out very well. I also had to change this thing quite a lot here, so it won't look like this later on, because we will have to climb the mountain in a better way. This was also the first point where I realized, oh no, we will need something like this, hairpin roads, something like this to get up this mountain, because the tracks in Skylines would do it, but in real life they wouldn't do it, and also a lot of vehicles would stuck there in the winter, in the just like cold time of the year, and this wouldn't be very realistic. So here you can see me building the road, and I had several tries how I should do it, and I ended up by getting something in there what I thought would look okay, and then just like I put everything in the like area I wanted it to, and you can see it there. This was a very easy trick and worked out very well for me. So this will later on be changed, as already said, but this is I think also off camera because yes, why not? What I think, yes, I think I will change this later on. This will go all the way up to this like nose of the mountain and just go around it, so that we wouldn't have to climb so many meters into the like height on the mountain, because it would just be very expensive, and it would be too expensive for a city to make it, because it would be very less costs to just go on one level. So yes, we're just like right now at minute 14, which means we're going to start in 2 minutes with a bit of detailing. But before we are doing this, I want to talk with you a bit about just like the fact that I'm very happy right now with all of you, because we're having 152 subscribers. That's quite a lot for me, because I was just recently uploading several videos about this European map making, and I think it worked out great, and you guys are enjoying it. And yes, so there I've also made this like going up the mountain nose and going around it, and this will now connect through the end of the valley and following just like the river basically. This river following is quite interesting. I've also tried the other first like detailing with not how they call it, I think stone wall is the right word for it, because it is just like there for getting people of not jumping into the water with the cars. So this would be kind of realistic. I also just saw some things like this in France on the Côte d'Azur, I think it's called, yes. And yes, as you can see there was quite a big and very fast switch of the road. That's due to the fact that sometimes my recording program Bandicam isn't recording the cuttings between them. I will have to see why it is like this and what I can do about this. And yes, so there I was fixing just all the train connections and thinking about how to get them in there, that they're looking good and very detailed. This actually very good looking was also already achieved, but for the ends I've just like moved them very close to the end of the map, so that you won't see the normal things if you're looking at the map, but they are definitely there. So yes, here also just like it was quite challenging for me to get all of them in place, but now we're finally going to something easier, the detailing. And for the detailing, I just want to say I've placed some trees and some stuff like this and made my normal like dusty areas there. So I will be back in some minutes. Hopefully you're still enjoying this video, and if you do, I would appreciate it if you would consider giving this video a like, and if you want to see more and you haven't subscribed to me, I would appreciate if you would consider subscribing to me. I'm doing quite a lot of videos actually, about 2 videos per day, so this should be very good. And now we will go outside with my dog because he needs to go outside, and we will see ourselves later on in just like the end of this video. So until then, have a great time, and hopefully you enjoyed this video, and yes, bye. Hopefully see you in another video. So I'm back with from the walk with my dog, and we're going ahead with fixing some road connections, and after this one we are getting the other body connected again with some hairpin bends. And these mountain roads are very cool, I think, because they're giving a lot of details. And yes, so as you can also see there, we've just fixed something with the river, but it wasn't that important, so I didn't write it down. And this whole river fixing is just like deleting some things that are doing weird stuff with the river. And they're just like there for it would just like be enough if we wouldn't place so many of them. I just like didn't want a continuous flow in them. And I think it's fixed them quite well. And they're having some parts where they are going like in the other direction, but this is okay because we could just like say it is the water going its own way, and this doesn't have to be like one way because there are different heights in the water and they're making different waves, and I think we can get away with it. So yes, actually I think this like river fixing was quite effective in the end. And right now we are also working a bit on it and just like watching the river if it works better after a while. And then we're going to build the hairpin roads. I'm sorry. And yes, we are then also starting to build the connections for the coast in some minutes. But right now we are just like making the connections for this side of the river. And there also be a hairpin road, as already said it now 10 times or something like this. Finally I'm allowed to build it. No, it's just like these roads are quite important for this whole series, and they are one of the most important things, at least for now. And yes, it is just like you can make very different styles of hairpin roads, so there are so many different ones, and you could just like decide what you want to build there. And in the end it turned out very great and very well, and it is very well detailed. So detailing is something very important, and this is just like due to the fact that also one of the things that I had to think about is that you will be able to, what should we call it? You should be able to load the save without having this map with my theme without having 10 FPS. Because it would be a pain in the ass if you would just like download this map, you would still have just like something around 50 FPS, and not 15, I'm sorry. And this would be quite a big problem, so I wasn't going the maniac thing and detailing some of the trees, some of the like areas around the trees, but not so many. I will definitely detail them more in our Let's Play series. This is due to the fact that I like love detailing some things like this, and I had to keep myself from going maniac with them. But I think it turned out quite well. So I'm sorry if you heard it click, it is just like me going to the video and zoom in on the timeline so that I can see what we're doing right now. And we are going to get up to minute 23, and we're just like about then at minute 23 we are adding plane connections at a plane intersection. You will see what I mean with this one later on. And until then we're just like detailing everything with trees and the tree brush. It is actually quite a lot of trees, but I think it's quite realistic also, and is giving a good foliage at the end. The map is having quite a lot of place to build on, so that's very good. And also with the place to build on, it is so much enough for like our little project there, and I think we won't get to the limits of this soon, and this should work out for the whole series without getting very weird when we are at the edge of the map building some things. So yes, here I'm just like building another like tree, like another forest. But now I'm having right now I got the word I also wanted to say it about 2 minutes ago, but I didn't remember the word forest, and I don't know why, but I didn't. So yes, this wasn't this good, but yes, we're just like fixing the last heights and deleting all the things that we just had there. For the fact of detailing all the things, it was quite faster. And yes, we are right now building our connection for the coastline. This connection I've built also like once before, but I haven't used it quite well, so I made it new. And yes, this is now the plane intersection. And it's actually intersection because everyone can go everywhere with the connections that I'm doing right now. And they're also kind of realistic because I want to make them large and very large, so yes. And actually I think you can be just like sure that I will keep making YouTube for the next 6 months, because I have also a second like project in mind right now that will be definitely completely different with this one. I also needed this difference because if I would do the same thing repeatedly, I wouldn't enjoy to do it. So this will be also a very big part of me just like thinking about other series and also talking about it a bit, I think. So there I'm detailing the river like beaches, I think we can say, and the curves with some dusty and sandy areas that's actually like I've meant them to be stones, because this would be very realistic in my opinion. So there I was considering about getting something like another, how they called, colors in there, but I have switched these plans. I did them because this would look kind of weird, so I didn't turn out how I wanted it, so I deleted it later on again. So from now on we're just like building some trees, and at minute 26 we will be back with more detailing, because we have made this train terrace, as you may remember from the beginning of this video, and now we're going to detail it and getting the whole thing in place so that it looks realistic. So yes, we are just right now waiting due to the fact that I had some problems with the water above me, and not just like in game with the river, and I had to wait until everything there went correct, and I didn't want to cut it out, so that you can see I've waited a lot of time in this video. This whole video is actually cut quite a lot, but I think that's okay. So there I'm just like detailing again these like very plain areas, and they are very important for a city, I think, because these are the things that are making city like realistic, because you don't have everywhere trees or detailing. They're also just like a huge kind of, how should we call it, huge kind of like grassy areas with a lot of high grass. So yes, we're now at the train terrace. We just like made this what is it called, not, it's just like this network that is having a huge kind of wall that is very fancy looking. It is actually this one there, and it is I think a Japanese prop, but I'm using it quite a lot. Also by American series I used it because it is just getting so many great details in it. It is awesome, I love it. And they're also very good for train terraces like this one. And also when you want to play with heights, as me I want to do there, you could just like lower it without a problem. So the only thing would be if you want to have it higher, you would have to stack 2 of them above, and I think there could come to some glitches, but I'm not at this point, so I'm happy about it. At first, as you can see, they want to use networks, but it didn't turn out like how I wanted, so I have deleted them and used these ones there. They are very cool and I love them, and there's so many different of them, so I've chosen them there later on some not so steep ones, and they're looking very good. They're just like there for saving the whole train track from the like mountain, because if there would come something like an avalanche down, something like this, it would be quite critical for all the people that are driving the train, or also just like working there, because there are a lot of people working on the train tracks and just getting everything fixed if there is a problem, and this would be extremely dangerous for them. This is just like something that we have in Austria for the safety of all the people that are using the train or having to do something with the train tracks. So yes, it is just like there me aligning everything and getting all the things in a good like position and look. So, well, I'm back again. I had some problems with my mic, but I think they're fixed right now. And yes, I think I'll have to apologize to all of you guys. I said that I will upload it in the 41st, I'm sorry, on Halloween, but I didn't got to this point because I was at a party and I was coming home about 23 o'clock, and then I was so tired that I didn't want to just like record anything, and it wouldn't be that much of a good quality, so I'm sorry for this one. It will now come on the 2nd, I think, on the 2nd of November. And I think this is okay. So it isn't that much of a delay, but it was this delay due to the fact of me just like not thinking about what time it was when I was at a party. And yes, I'm sorry for this one. So what you can see me building there is just like this retaining wall has to end somewhere. So I did it there, that it is going into the mountain, back into the mountain, and it's just like having this small plateau. I think it's also called this in English, plateau. Now we have it. And yes, this like plateau will be have some trees on it and some things like this one, but I will build the trees in the like real let's play, as already said, due to the fact that it wouldn't look that good if I would do it right now, because I can't like get the trees in the air in this like map editor. So we are right now coming very close to the point of detailing the riverbed and the delta, and this will also be the last part of this video and this map making series. So the next time we will see each other is already on my save game that they will play on this map. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider subscribing to me, and also hit the like button. The like button helps me quite a lot because it shows me like that you guys are interested in these kind of videos and that I should do more of them and get the quality even better. I've also changed on this episode from the fact that I have now an whole script of doing an episode and not just like making some small notice blocks all around my screen. So this should also be very good. At least I think it was better from my side, so I was speaking fluently due to this one. And yes, I'm trying to just like enhance my speaking and get it better every day. So hopefully you also noticed that. And yes, if you did, or if you found some of my mistakes that I'm doing while talking, I'd appreciate it if you would like tell me about them in the comments. It would help me quite a lot to evolve in speaking English. And yes, it is also just like the fact this isn't my first language. I'm coming from Austria, so I'm speaking German, and I think my English is okay, I guess, but there is way more things that I can improve. So I'd appreciate if you would consider telling me some of the things that I'm doing wrong, because it would help me a lot. So yes, thank you for watching and hopefully see another video and have a great day. Bye!